So we live in South America and have really been surprised to see Ecuador, which was the safest country in this continent, become added to the list of narco invaded, cartel manipulated nations. It's the smallest country in South America. It's at the very tip. It's got two very strategic ports, Manta and Guayaquil, which have become very popular for the cartels moving their product up to the United States and parts of Europe. There's a great need. The clients have tripled, they say, since COVID, and other products, other toxins are being sold as well. Kidnapping, extortion, weapons, brutal stuff. And these cartel people are often very young, very little to live for, totally ruthless. Some of the stories we read about are just unacceptable. Viking shit, and very little solutions. That's the other part of the problem. We live in an isolated part of the beach, and in a certain way, we are at risk. We're not in a space that's had many problems, but we are at risk. We're not far from problems. My son's in school. We question what we're doing here. We like our situation, but we question that aspect of it, obviously. We don't feel, or I don't, I'm very alert, and I'm a very good traveler. I don't see anyone specifically in my area. A few every now and then. There's also the Fiscalia, which is basically the national police on steroids. They're everywhere as well around here. Noboa happens to live 2 miles from me, ironically. That wasn't planned. He's the president, so therefore we have military and more guard than others. Towns near us, there's shootings. Valdivia, which is the oldest indigenous community per se in this area, the nearest 100 miles. They had shootings. There's cartel kids coming from the mountains. There's access roads to Manta. There's a war between Libertad and Manta now. There was a shooting in Montanita, which is 50 minutes away, a gun battle between those two cartels just recently, 2 weeks ago. So it's real. It's here. I say this as a response to Trump blasting these boats out of the water. I know quite a bit about this subject. We know a lot of Venezuelans. These routes these boats are on are known narco routes. They're known very well by fishermen who will not be out there. Those are not fishermen. The motors on the back of these things are classic for cartel. And I'm thankful for it. I'm not a military-oriented person, but I do know at times the military is needed. This has to be checked. And even though I realize it leads to greater problems, military get rooted, they never leave. I get that. This stuff's out of control, and these countries have no solution. Maduro is definitely in on it. The Colombian president is an ex-FARC leader. Those organizations still exist. Maduro is definitely in on it. He's funding it, definitely. If you talk to local Venezuelans who are hardworking and were employed in Venezuela and fled, not the thugs that are trained at Agua, but fled because their country was literally taken over by fascists. You realize how deep the rabbit hole goes with them, all the fraudulence that occurred during Chavez. And Maduro, who is just absolutely a miserably failed leader. His military is given much wealth, so therefore they don't take him out, which is obviously necessary for a classic coup d'etat. The military has to turn on the leadership, and he still has their support, their allegiance. I don't like seeing Trump, and the rhetoric, of course, is in the end they want the oil. I get that. But these cartel people are on a different level. And I worry dearly for the local people. They cannot combat these assholes. They are just ruthless, cruel stuff you wouldn't want to even imagine. Halloween shit. Bad. And decapitations and all kinds of terrible torture shit. There's a war amongst those gangs too, so the war comes into the streets. Lonnie shared a story with me this morning. A birthday party hit, and 2 babies were shot. This is going on around here. That happened in Manta, but it's real. Whatever help from the West can come here and enforce, I'm at that point where I'd say it's a good thing, and I would never usually say that. I'm not a military supportive type, but you need to use it when you've got it. We're in a problem situation here, and taking those boats out in Venezuela is just good news. That's when the military might serves a purpose.